In this video, I'll be talking about why you need to embrace your demons. You need to embrace your demons to get that shift, to get that breakthrough that you are desperately seeking. Okay, I spent a lot of time ignoring my demons, trying to fix them, trying to heal them, get away from them. I know that's a popular path. You might have tried that path, you might have exhausted that path, but you're not getting anywhere. So I would welcome you to acknowledge and maybe consider this idea of turning around, facing your demons and embracing them. It begins with you accepting with where you are right now, not trying to change where you are, but embracing where you are. You might be feeling sad, you might be feeling afraid, you might be feeling unworthy. Whatever you're feeling, can you just be with that right now, right here? No judgments, not trying to get rid of it, none of that. Full acceptance, unconditional acceptance. That is fully embracing your demons. That is reality. Wherever you are, doing what you're doing, embracing that is truth. I think so many of us, and I've been guilty of this as well, is we want to project ourselves away from it. We don't want to feel our demons. We don't want to embrace them. We want to fix them. We want to get rid of them. We want to heal them. The last thing we want to do is turn around and face them. But like I said, what could be more true and real than whatever you're experiencing in the moment? So instead of trying to get rid of it, practice turning around and just embracing them as fully as you can. Almost as though you want them. And that's love. Love from a spiritual perspective is where there's no separation. When two things merge, there's no separation. That's the spiritual definition of love. So we can apply that same definition to our demons and suffering, embrace it so tightly so there's no separation. Watch what happens when you do that. This is effectively what we're trying to do, is to love our demons to death. We turn around, we face them, we embrace them with full unconditional acceptance and love. And if you do it right, they'll dissolve. You'll start to create drastic shifts. It's the desire to move away from it, it's the desire to fix it or heal it that creates separation. That actually creates resistance. That strengthens whatever you're trying to fix or heal. That strengthens your demons. And it's so counterintuitive that we have to actually turn around, face the demons, embrace the demons unconditionally, and then you might have a breakthrough. And the reason this is so hard for you to do is because your demons don't want you to turn around and embrace them. It's counterintuitive. They want you to go out and seek a solution, some type of healing, or whatever it might be. The counterintuitive thing is to turn around and accept them. The more you seek external solutions, or try to get rid of them or fix them, the more you empower them, the more you're resisting them. They feed off your resistance. This is what I'm saying, right? Stop giving them resistance. The more you resist, the more they'll persist. In fact, the more you resist, the more energy you give them. Flip that on its head. Like I said, this journey is not logical. It's not rational, it's counterintuitive. We have to do the counterintuitive things. Doesn't make sense. Why would I want to turn around and face something I hate about myself? Right? Nobody wants to do that. Maybe that's why it works, because nobody looks there. But the more you try to move away and fix and heal, you're just going to keep strengthening them. And I've known this for a long time. If you go back and check some of my older videos from a couple of years ago, I was talking about this thing. This idea. In truth and in hindsight, looking back, I wasn't actually embracing them unconditionally. I was doing it because in the back of my mind I'd heard and I'd read that by embracing my demons, I'll get rid of them. So this is where it's very, very tricky. Because you might be watching this video, you might have heard other people talk about this, and you might think, okay, I'll try this, I'll try embracing my demons. But in the back of your mind, you still are doing it because you want to get rid of them. And with that in your mind, even if it's right in the back of your mind, you won't be able to get the shift that you want. You won't be able to break through because you know the truth of why you're doing it. And this is why this idea of embracing your demons unconditionally is simple but not easy, because the ego will try to attach to the idea. I think one of the keys here to do this correctly is to have developed your consciousness to a high enough level where you can be with your demons, with your suffering, almost as though you want them. And another key thing here is that we're not wallowing in it. And this is why it's important to have had enough consciousness, enough expansion, because if your consciousness isn't at a high enough level, you'll wallow in it. You'll let it drag you down and you'll really suffer. That's not what we're doing here. We want to be consciously experiencing in the moment. Like I said, what could be more real than whatever we're experiencing in the moment? Not trying to get rid of it, just being with it. And I've actually found that although you think it's your weakest place, your weakest point, your suffering is your weakest, that's what you think, I would suggest you to flip that round and see that maybe that's the point where I can break through. That's the shortcut. But we don't want to look there because it's not nice. Find the shortcut, find the weakest point, and you'll actually find the place that you're strongest. But again, this requires consciousness, a willingness to turn around and really stare your demons in the eye and look at them as though I'm not scared anymore. I'm open, I embrace you. And see what happens. Like I said, for some of you, this will create a huge shift. Again, this is deep shadow work. We're facing the stuff we don't want to face. Willingly, wanting to face it head on. And a massive clue, if you're doing this correctly, is that you'll start to become more aware of your demons. I talked about this in my last video, where if you become very accepting of your suffering and trauma, whatever that might be, let's say it's depression, as you begin to accept it unconditionally, you become much more consciously aware of how this depression, in this instance, is controlling your life, is everywhere in your life. You see it in your character, you see it in your life, you see how you are recreating it, you see how you are involved in it, how you're actually conspiring to create more depression. But you can't see that until you begin to accept it. And that's the way out, acceptance. Because when you see how you're so involved in it, you're actually creating it yourself, you stop doing it. The reason you can't free yourself from your suffering is because you don't know how it's happening. I shared an analogy in my other video where you can't fix a car if you don't know how to fix cars. You can't fix yourself if you don't know what's going wrong with you. But acceptance will allow your consciousness to expand enough so you can see clearly how this pattern or this trauma or this demon is running you. With that awareness, you free yourself. That's why awareness is the beginning, awareness is the end. It's all about the awareness. And when you see how you're partaking and playing a role in your own suffering, you'll simply stop doing it, you'll let it go. So I welcome you to accept and embrace your deepest, darkest demons unconditionally. Love them to death, literally. It's what they don't want. It's counterintuitive. They don't want that. They want to keep distracting you, making you face different directions, going different ways, because it keeps them alive. It keeps them strong. Stop doing that. Turn around, face them, embrace them, love them to death. Okay, so that is everything I have to talk about in the video. If you did enjoy it, if you could please go ahead, give it a like, comment, share, subscribe. Really helps me out. Check out my book, link in the description if you haven't already. But until next time, remember to keep living free and being free. Peace.